Welcome friends, today we will discuss Bimstec. Then comes the first question in your mind. So what exactly is Bimstec? What's the history and evolution? What are the objectives of Bimstec? What are the areas of cooperation? And what is India's strategic role? And we are discussing that itself means there has to be some summit level meetings. Then comes the next question. So where the meeting was held? In Thailand. So what is the relationship of India and Thailand? And last point, obviously, significance of BIMSTEC. And then as usual, one mains questions and prelims questions we will discuss. Now, first of all, why it is in news? Now, Thailand hosts, so which country hosts? It's Thailand, 6th BIMSTEC summit in Bangkok. So if in the exam they ask you question where the summit was, it was in Bangkok, Thailand. How many countries are there? It clearly shows 7 countries. Then comes the next question. So what exactly is BIMSTEC? Now, BIMSTEC is a regional organization. So it's an organization, but it's a regional organization connecting South and Southeast Asia nation. I repeat, connecting South and Southeast Asia nation. Then comes the next question. So when it was established? It was established in 1997 as by Bangkok Declaration. Where is the headquarter? If the question is there in the exam, it's in Dhaka, Bangladesh. How many countries are there? 7 countries are there. And how much population it represents? Approximate 1.7 billion. And the most important is combined GDP is 4.5 trillion. That shows the significance of BIMSTEC. Now, which are the member countries? And suppose if UPSC asks this question to show it on your map, then you should be able to. See, from South Asia, it's Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal, and Sri Lanka. And from Southeast Asia, it is Myanmar and Thailand. So there's a possibility in UPSC they may ask you that sixth summit was held in Bangkok. So you are supposed to show Bangkok or you're supposed to locate Bangkok on map. So Bangkok is here in Thailand. I hope it is clear. Now, if you look at this particular thing, one thing makes clear that all these countries are neighboring countries, regional countries. And the most important thing in international relation, please always remember you should have good relation with your neighbors. And when you study from exam point of view, see to it that in IR, half of the study will be over if you understand map well, if you study map well, because map will tell you why you should have good relation with a particular country or countries, group of countries. Then comes the next, when this particular BIMSTEC was formed in 1997, as I said. So all 7 countries were there initially? No, initially it was called as BIMSTEC: Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka and Thailand. Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka and Thailand. That means how many countries were there? 4 countries. Afterwards Myanmar joined, so it became 5, and then in 2004 Nepal and Bhutan joined, and then it became 7, and it gets the name of from BIMSTEC to BIMSTEC. So in the exam, if they ask you question that from start there were 7 countries, answer is no. At the start there were 4, then it becomes 5, and then it becomes 7. Then comes the next question, so what's the purpose of it? What are the objectives of it? Don't you think in international relations, if countries support each other and if there's a tremendous trade between each other, don't you think it benefits all of them? Because instead of growing one country, we can grow faster by working together on useful projects. We can work as a partner. We can help each other. In which area? It may be science, it may be education, it may be social issues, it may be technology. For example, India is very good at technology. Its UPI technology is doing well, so India can help it. We can help in training and research also. Not only this, we can work on the projects which are matching with national plans also of different countries. And instead of focusing on one project, we can focus on projects of group that will help. Not only this, in today's era, do you think that each and every problem we can solve which our country is facing? Answer is negative. If you are saying it's yes, it's absolutely wrong. Why? Can you fight terrorism on your own? Even America can't. Can you fight organized crime on your own? Money laundering and natural disasters like tsunami, earthquake, climate change, and COVID like diseases? No. So, don't you think in that case it is always better to work together? It's always better to work together and to achieve goals and help each other. Not only this, if we really work together as a Bimstec teamwork, don't you think Bimstec can work with the other organization which have similar goals? That will help both of them. And we all are staying next to each other only. So don't you think all these countries should try to remove poverty from their region by working together? And if you want to have a good trade, how good trade is going to be possible? Trade is possible only if there is a connectivity. That itself means you should have a road connectivity, you should have a rail connectivity, you should have air connectivity. So you may say, so this is a physical connectivity. No, not only physical connectivity is sufficient. In today's era, digital connectivity is also must. So countries can grow very well if they have better connectivity. And don't you think if you work really well, it will boost trade and investment. So the objectives and purpose of BIMSTEC is really good. Then comes the next question. See, what are the areas where they can cooperate each other? Now, this question you can answer very well if you look at this particular map. All these countries are next to each other, closely organized. So, don't you think it is very good if they can go for a trade and investment? If they trade with each other, don't you think trading with neighbor is always good? And in today's era, when USA policies of tariff are hurting most of the countries, it's always better that we should look at someone else so that our loss may be lessened, and even this is benefit for other BIMSTEC countries also. Second, as I said, that for environment, climate challenge and security, we can work together. I think hardly 10 days before, there was a big earthquake in Myanmar and Thailand. Indian Prime Minister immediately said, we are ready to help. And obviously, we should help to each other in such type of natural calamities. Food security is one of the issue which entire globe is facing. So here we can work together. And if you want all these countries to have good relation, then don't you think the most important thing is people to people contact? Because if more people and people will contact each other, there will be always pressure on government also to improve relationship if there are any issues. Not only this, you can work on science, tech and innovation. For example, you can work on AI, and you can obviously work on better connectivity. How it will help? Now suppose you want to have good relation with Southeast Asian nation, so better connectivity is always work. Then comes the next question. So what is India's strategic role? What India is going to do? Now if you look at, again I repeat, if you look at the map, you'll come to know that compared to all other country, India is too big. Now India is not only big from, not only big in area, but it's good in defense, its economy is good, science tech is good. So and it's a big market. So India is definitely, I can call it as a leader, not only in trade but digital infrastructure also, like UPI, it's working very well in many countries, and security also. So India is playing a great role. Yes. Now, which are the policies which India is looking for? Neighborhood first. That means all these countries are next to each other. India. So we are neighborhood first. That means improve relationship with your neighbors. Earlier we used to talk about lookist. Lookist policy from 1991 onwards we started lookist policy. Now it's the time to act east. But if you want to act east, don't you think India should have good relation with all this? Because Bangladesh, Myanmar, Thailand, this is nothing but a gateway for Southeast Asian nation, and ASEAN is one of the big bloc regarding economics. And third, Prime Minister Modi announced Mahasagar vision recently. We can work on that. Now you may say, so what is Mahasagar? Now Mahasagar, earlier we heard about Sagar, that is security and growth for all in region. Mahasagar is a little bit wider term where you are encompassing other things also. Not only this, India is promoting Bimstec, FTA and other infrastructure project which will help all of them. Then comes the next. So what happened in recent summit and what was the theme? The theme for recent summit was prosperous, resilient and open. Bangkok Vision 2030 document was adopted and India declared its 21-point action plan. India talk about Center for Excellence and Bodhi skill program. Now this question may be there in the exam. So what exactly is Bodhi? Now look at the board. Bodhi as a word itself, B, Bimstec, B, O, organize, D, development of human resource and infrastructure. That means Bimstec for organized development of human resource and infrastructure. Not only this, you can work on cancer care, you can work on business and youth summit. Then comes the next question. So the summit was there in Thailand. So what kind of relationship we have with Thailand? Thailand, we are having relation maritime cooperation. As I earlier also said, defense and security, trade and digital economy. Culturally, most of the South Asian countries and Southeast Asian countries are having more or less similarities. So there are ties is possible. And science and technology collaboration. Then come to the last question. So what is the significance of BIMSTEC? If there's a question in the exam, discuss the significance of BIMSTEC. Can I say BIMSTEC can be act as an alternative to SARC? It can be act as an alternative, I repeat, alternative to SARC. Then comes the next question. So why? See, SARC has been started in 1985, but how much is the progress? If you check it out, SARC is considered as one of the failed organization, one of the organization which has not delivered what it was expecting from it. Now there are few people who say, sir, it's like a glass half filled and half empty. But really, what's the problem with the SARC? The problem with the SARC is relationship of India and Pakistan, and that's the reason it always create issue. And now we always say that regional cooperation should be there. It's good for all countries. So if from SARC, if I minus Pakistan, don't you think I will get BIMSTEC, adding Thailand to it? That means the hurdle which was there in SARC, we are removing. So it can act as a better alternative because we have already seen the best example in world. EU is one of the best example. ASEAN is one of the best example. But when people talk about SARC, these are the successful model, this is a failed model. So BIMSTEC can act as an alternative. So is it right? Answer is yes. Second, as I said, economic and cultural bridge बन सकता है. Third, don't you think most of the countries in South Asia and Southeast Asia are facing regional dominance? So if we work together, we can counter regional dominance and it strengthens unity and development. So that's the relevance or significance of BIMSTEC. Then comes the next question. So what is the conclusion? Don't you think by looking at all these points, it's quite clear that BIMSTEC fosters regional cooperation and India is a country which play leadership role in it. And what's the goal of it? Its main goal is prosperous and resilient Bay of Bengal region, means not only a particular country, that is India, Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, Bangladesh, Thailand, Sri Lanka, all Bay of Bengal region entire should be more prosperous. And they're looking forward for their 30th anniversary in 2027. Now, if the video is and the content is clear, let us solve one question for mains. BIMSTEC has emerged as a key regional organization to foster cooperation between South and Southeast Asia and alternative to SARC. That means the first point, can it be act as an alternative to SARC? This is supposed to be answered by you. Second, critically examine the role of BIMSTEC. That means you are supposed to examine the role of BIMSTEC regarding regional integration and economic cooperation, and then you are supposed to suggest measure for its effectiveness. Now listen carefully. Most of the time students normally focus on one or 2 points and they skip one point or write less about that point, due to which they get less marks in the exam. Please, when you are reading the question, see to it, and when you are writing the answer on it, see to it you are giving justice to each and every part of the question which they have asked in the exam. That will give you better marks. Next, so what is the question for prelims? Now regarding prelims, which of the following statements are correct regarding BIMSTEC? In the originally there were 5 members. Whether it is right or wrong, you are supposed to decide. Second, its secretariat is there in Dhaka, Bangladesh. And third, Nepal and Bhutan joined in 2004. Now, if you know the answer, please write it in comment box. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much.